So I bought this great RC airplane to have a nice scale, kind of small, great flyer. And what I ended up with was actually, these, and this. Well, this is actually the XK J3 Skylark, the A160. And this one, it looks so great. It looks actually too great, because if you look at this box, which it comes in, it says, dream, explore, fly. I would probably say dream, explore the difficulties, and crash, because, look at this picture, for instance. It looks great, but this is actually a real airplane. This is not the RC airplane. And if you look at the side, okay, there's the actual RC airplane. But, dream, explore, fly. And my experience was, like, dream, okay, I dreamt of having a great flyer. Explore, well, explored was pretty difficult to put together. And not only that, I flew for, I don't know if it was mere seconds. And then suddenly I made this, aileron and rudder turn at the same time. And the aircraft went, spiral down and just crashed into the ground. So the first time it crashed, the landing gear fell off. Now the second time, it did the same thing, spiraled down, crashed. The hood, pieces fell off, and the strut came loose. And then, like on the third one, took a nosedive right on the prop, and broke the prop mount. So I don't know where what this will end up in the garbage bin, probably. This has got to be the worst flyer I've ever experienced, because what actually happened was, I tried this before I flew this one, and I know other people have had serious issues with this one. But what happens is the rudder actually gets stuck when you do like both aileron and rudder, or maybe just rudder, and you go back and forth, and then when you do a big move, you yank the stick on the remote, it kind of gets stuck in the far end. If you have it's stuck like this, as usual, when you turn, you have the aileron, and you have the aileron and plus rudder, coordinated turn. If you do it too much, the airplane will start to stall. But if you just release the pressure on the rudder and increase speed, usually it's no problem to recover. But this one, the rudder just was stuck. Maybe just a few seconds more than than usual. But this one just going down and crashing. So, there got to be some sort of problem with the flight controller, or I don't think this actual servo does have a kind of delay, because so it gets stuck in one direction when you make a big input. So if something can't fly, I think it's just rubbish, because usually when you have fly a lot of different RC airplanes, most of them, they fly okay. Some are great flyers, some are okay flyers, and then some, they are just worthless because this or that doesn't work as it should. And in the case of this one, I suppose it's the flight controller. I had several difficulties putting this one together. I broke the little plastic nut which you are supposed to secure the wing, because it has a tight fit. And I don't know why they ever made it like this, instead of having the wing in one piece and just using a one or two screws to secure the wing, which is the normal procedure for many of these. And and this one is quite heavy for its size also. I don't know exactly how much it weighs, but it does weigh more than something similar. It's kind of nice construction overall, because you know, the foam is dense, although I managed to, you know, to scrape off paint on this edge when I, you know, was assembling this one. And the struts, they are just, you know, a joke really. They're so thin, I don't know where to begin. I mean, and this, you know, strut holder, I had to glue it with hot glue to have it, you know, stick. And the mess of the cables inside the canopy. I've managed to, in this one, you know, to get them just hanging from the roof, but I mean, there's just not enough room to put the cables in a good way. And I have to make, you know, special mounts for these. So, all in all, I think, this one, I think anyone who considers this one, look at it and think, wow, it's a nice scale RC airplane with a lot of details. I mean, there are a lot of nice details. All these parts are just, you know, plastic garbage really. And although this is, you know, spring damped, I mean, why? Because there is actually a steel, you know, landing gear which, you know, won't break, and these wheels are, I mean, okay. But these plastic parts, they're just made to break. So I don't really get this one, because I mean the foam is good, and the aircraft body is, you know, solid. So why, first of all, why make it so difficult to put this one together? Second of all, why don't you test the thing so that, you know, the flight controller works as it should? Because I mean this one apparently, there are so many other buyers of this one that has had, you know, similar problems with the aircraft. You know, you're going around and you don't have enough aileron to make a tight turn. So of course you use the rudder to swing the tail around, and then it just starts to spiral down and crashes. So I think that's just unpredictable. I cannot fly an airplane where, you know, I'm always afraid of if I have too much rudder input, the thing will crash, because I know if I do, and I often do it, I mean often, you know, do too much rudder, but then I can save it easily, you know, just release the pressure on the rudder and increase speed, and I mean I can get it level again. So there's actually something really bad going on with this one as far as the flight controller, and I mean I would actually never recommend this one, because there are so many other great, you know, planes, and I mean I've tried the XK A430 and the XK A600, and I mean they fly great. They are not, you know, like detailed like this one, but the flight controller, it's predictable. You know how it works. I mean, if you're in a jam, if you do too much, you know, stick input, you can save it. It's no problem. But with this one, you're just screwed. And I mean, I'm glad this one didn't cost too much, but I mean, this just has to go to the garbage bin. So, you know, sadly enough, I really can't recommend this one. Even though, I mean, it looks great. It's not a good product. Hopefully, I mean, XK or the WLToys will do a MK2 version with a, you know, properly working flight controller, and, you know, make it easier to put together, because this is just, it promises so much. I mean, dream, explore, fly, and I experienced when I dream, explore the difficulties of putting it together and crash. So I think this one just has to go to the trash bin. I'm sorry.